Revenge films.
I recently attended the wedding of a close high school friend. After graduating high school, my friend went to a national university to study to become a nurse. We hadn't seen each other often after our high school graduation, but she would come to visit me during her university holidays. My friend met her husband-to-be at university. At the time, he was studying to be a doctor. I received a phone call from my friend saying that she was getting married and that she sent me a wedding invitation. The groom was a doctor and the bride is a nurse, so I was told that a lot of people from the healthcare industry would be attending the wedding. My friend and her fiancé had a ceremony for just family in the morning and invited me to the reception in the afternoon. The reception consisted of 300 guests, and it was a grand celebration. There was also an after-party, which most of the guests from the reception went to. The groom's friends from university hosted the after-party, and as friends of the bride, we weren't assigned any specific roles. I was having fun at the party, catching up with old friends. The friends of the groom hosting the party came over to us and told us that there was something that they wanted to discuss with us.
Can we speak to you for a moment?
Yes. We went into the hallway and headed to another room. When we got to the room, we saw that high school uniforms had been prepared for us to wear. It wasn't our uniform from high school. What's this?
Apologies for the last-minute request, but we would like you to wear these and perform a dance in front of the other guests.
He wasn't saying this as a joke. He was asking us as if this was something that could be done with no preparation. We were confused by the sudden request. I had predicted that he would be asking us to do some sort of surprise performance for the bride, but I didn't expect it to be dancing in front of the crowd and pretending to be idols. My instinct was to decline. I mean, who would want to see a bunch of women in their 30s wearing short skirts and showing off their mediocre dance skills? I gave my reasons and declined the proposal.
This is a request from the groom, and he really wants you to do this for the bride.
It seemed that he would not be taking no as our answer. If it had been the request of my friend, the bride, I may have accepted, but I had only met the groom several times before, and I barely knew him. So we continued to say no, and asked if the groom could just ask his female friends, not us. The groom came into the room and said,
"Are you girls ready?"
"We don't understand why we need to do this. We're sorry, but we can't do it."
But you girls are single, right? Many of the guests here are successful doctors. If you do the performance, you might meet the man of your dreams. There were other people that wanted to do this performance, but I chose you three because you are close to the bride. Doesn't that make you feel special?
We were stunned by what he had just said to us. I felt like slapping him in the face for being stupid, but he had no idea that we felt this way, and he continued to talk.
I know that you girls aren't young anymore, but I think you could still pull off wearing a school uniform. This will probably be the last time that you could be seen in public wearing a uniform. So if I were you, I would make the most of this opportunity. You girls are smart enough to know that, right?
We had no intention of wearing a school uniform ever again, including today. I was disgusted by the groom's words. He was so conceited. Who did he think he was? Appalled, we left the room without continuing the conversation further. We felt bad for our friend, but we decided to leave the party because we didn't want to be around her husband anymore. After leaving the party, we decided to go out for drinks, just the three of us. Before leaving the party, we went to talk to our friend. When we approached her, she was smiling with joy. "I was waiting for you to come talk to me." From my friend's expression, we could tell that the groom had not informed her of our conversation with him earlier. I wanted to tell my friend what had happened with her husband, but I didn't want to ruin the mood, so we told her that we were leaving because we had to get up early for work the following day. She looked so sad to see us go, and it made us feel a little guilty. The day after the wedding, I received a call from my friend. She was calling to apologize about what her husband had said to us. She was in tears.
I had no idea that he said that to you. I'm so sorry.
It seemed that after the wedding, her husband had said to her,
Your friends are so stupid! I gave them the opportunity to meet some of my doctor friends and they refused. Who does that? It's their loss. They could have met a rich doctor and lived happily ever after.
Although he did not know us personally, my friend's husband looked down on us. My friend was livid when she heard her husband saying bad things about her best friends. She blamed him for coming up with a bizarre proposal and trying to get us to do something that we were not comfortable with. She had wondered why we left her party early, but now she knew that we had a good reason to do so. She thanked me for being considerate of her feelings and not making her feel bad at the wedding. Because of this incident, my friend began to argue with her husband. It was only one day into their wedding, but my friend decided to leave her husband due to differences in values. I suppose I saw this coming. Besides, I don't want her to stay married to an asshole. But when she actually went through with it, I felt extremely sad for my friend.
I'm really sorry about how rude he was to you. I'm glad that I got to see this side of him before we went down to the city hall to officially register our marriage. It was because of you that I could see him for the person that he really is. So thank you.
I started to cry for my friend who was being nice to me when she might have been feeling empty inside. But after talking to each other, she said to me,
The next man I choose to marry will be someone that is nice to me and my friends.
A while later, my friend called me again to update me on her relationship with her ex-husband. It seemed that her ex-husband had talked about what had happened at the wedding to his colleagues at the hospital. The story spread and eventually reached the ears of my friend's nurse manager. The nurse manager scolded the ex-husband, and his colleagues started to avoid him at work after hearing about how he had acted at the wedding.
You got what you deserved. Your wife was smart to leave you.
I'm glad that your wife realized all this before it was too late. You shouldn't have mistreated her friends like that. Because of this, things at work started to become uncomfortable for the ex-husband, and he transferred to a different hospital in the countryside. He called us losers, but it seems like he's the one that lost everything. He stopped harassing my friend, and his parents paid her a sizable settlement. As for his parents, they were so disappointed in him.
You're a disgrace to this family. We don't ever want to see you again.
The wedding was extravagant and beautiful, but the marriage ended up being annulled the following day. The ex-husband's parents were so ashamed for what had happened, especially when the guests had sent such lovely wedding gifts in celebration of the couple. In the end, the ex-husband was responsible for returning the gifts and celebration money to all the guests. 3 years later, my friend found new love. Her second husband was a patient of hers, and they became close after he visited the hospital many times for his treatment. I didn't know her first husband well, but my friend introduced me to her second husband, and I got to know him well.
I've heard so much about you. It's so nice that you two are still so close.
I was happy that my friend had found such a nice guy. My friend said to me,
I had a beautiful wedding the first time, but the marriage was not great. So this time, I plan on taking photos with my husband and registering our wedding at City Hall.
She showed me the photos afterward, and she looked so happy.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.